Question is going to be about proportion. Okay, so we're going to use this question from the AQA paper as an example. Okay, so the question is, a takeaway sells 10-inch pizzas and 12-inch pizzas. Okay, and then it gives us some information about how many of these pizzas have been sold in 2 weeks. Okay, so we've got the information for week 1 and then the information for week 2. Okay, now the purpose of this question, as well as trying to figure out whether you know how to work out proportions, is also to see if you can extract data from different ways of representing data. Okay, so we've got a data table here. This is a table, and then we've got a tree. Okay, like a some kind of tree diagram. Okay, so we're supposed to extract the data that we need from each of these diagrams to work out the proportion of 10-inch pizzas sold. Okay. So let's look at what the question's asking down here. So it says, in each week, a proportion of the pizzas sold were 10-inch. Okay, in which week was this proportion greater? So to answer this question, we need to know what the proportion was in week 1 and what the proportion was in week 2. Okay, so let's start with week 1 first. Okay, so to work out the proportion of pizzas sold that were 10 inches, we need to write the number of pizzas that were 10 inches as a fraction of the total number of pizzas sold. Okay, so we do 512 divided by 743. Okay, and then we write this as a decimal. Okay, so this is a calculator paper, so you can enter this into your calculator, 512 divided by 743, and we end up with approximately 0.689. Okay, dot dot dot. So we need to do the same for week 2 now, okay? But the data is represented in a slightly different way. So here we have the total number of pizzas sold, and then of this total number, 10 inches, there were 758 sold, and then there were 307 12 inches sold, okay? Now we're interested in the 10-inch ones, so we do the same thing that we did here. We look at how many 10-inch pizzas were sold, which is 758. And then we express this as a fraction of the total number of pizzas sold, which is 1,065. Okay, and then we put this into our calculator again. So 758 divided by 1065, and we get 0.711 approximately. Okay, and then we compare these two numbers, and we can see that there's a greater proportion of 10-inch pizzas sold in week 2 than in week 1, okay? Because this number here is bigger than this number here, okay?